Drugs seized by police on campuses only to end up in school dumpsters, trash cans, or who knows where.
KSAT Investigates spent months examining how officers at Northeast Independent School District handled substances that tested positive for THC and found that these items rarely ended up in an evidence room.
Dylan Collier walks us through the findings and how NEISD is responding to our reporting by changing its policies.
Last October, after a MacArthur High School student ate a marijuana gummy that caused her to get sick, staff found her classmate with a similar edible hidden in a pill case. But after police confirmed it contained THC, the active ingredient in marijuana, the gummy and test kit were thrown into a faculty trash can. Weeks later, at Legacy of Educational Excellence High School, a district police officer found a student in possession of leafy marijuana and a THC vape pen. This time, after testing the vape liquid, records show the nearly 4 grams of marijuana and a legal smoking device were both tossed in a dumpster. Last year alone, NEISD police investigated 371 cases at the district's elementary, middle, and high schools for possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2, which includes THC and vape pens like this one. Time and again, officers reported tossing seized items like THC gummies in the trash, or in some instances, didn't indicate at all where the items ended up. How did this happen?
It shouldn't have happened. It just should not have happened. The officers are all fully aware of how the discarding of the products is supposed to work.
Aubrey Chancellor, NEISD's Executive Director of Communications, points out that THC oil was often rinsed down the drain by officers and that the vape devices were no longer operable after being tested.
Because the vape pens can't be reused, because the oil can be discarded right then and there, it was just something that they were doing.
She walked in school, fine, healthy, clean backpack.
Destiny, whose daughter is a freshman at MacArthur, has twice been called to the high school this semester to pick up her child for being under the influence, and has twice been forced to take her to the emergency room. In the first incident, which Destiny described as an adverse reaction to taking Benadryl with friends, the teen also tested positive for THC. Late last month, after skipping class, the girl said a man at a nearby gas station bought her and her buddies alcohol. After the teen showed up back on campus intoxicated, Destiny arrived to find her being brought out in a wheelchair.
They buckled her up and handed me the barf bag and said, take care of it.
A subsequent ethanol screening showed the freshman was nearly 3 times the legal limit to operate a vehicle.
I'm very pissed. I'm hurt and I'm angry and I'm scared for children.
KSAT Investigates looked at the other large school districts in San Antonio and found that all of them have strict policies for storing seized drugs and paraphernalia, including THC vape pens. Chancellor said NEISD is now attempting to follow suit.
Moving forward, all of the officers are going to take anything and everything and take it back to the evidence room. We're glad that this was brought to our attention so that we could take the opportunity to relook at things, to see if that is really the best practice. And moving forward, that isn't going to occur anymore.
For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier.
NEISD officials declined to make Chief Wally McCampbell available for an interview for this story. They would also not say if any officers were disciplined for their handling of drug evidence. We'll be right back.
Transgender people often struggle with discrimination and harassment, which can lead to mental health issues like anxiety, depression.
And part of the problem is communication. Ursula Perry has reported on a new program that helps people in transition communicate in a way that is comfortable and gender affirming.
Sienna grew up in a rural area, a small town where she buried her true feelings about her gender for years.
I've been a fish out of water my entire life.
5 years ago, she lost a close friend and was hospitalized for depression.
That was the first time that I had admitted to anyone that that I was trans. This is why I've never felt, connected to the male experience. This is why, when someone calls me sir, I've always cringed inside.
2 years ago, during COVID isolation, Sienna started medically transitioning from male to female, starting with hormones. But she still wasn't happy with how she sounded. That's when she sought out gender-affirming voice coaching.
Most of the patients that we see here can achieve their goals or close to their goals with voice therapy alone, which is a significantly less invasive option. Let's turn this into a hum.
Lichtenstein worked with patients on pitch, resonance, speech patterns, and breathing. Men and women approach each differently.
We start at a sound level, playing around with weird sounds and coordinating them. How about some twang to get some resonance going? Meow, 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 meow.
Then they practice sentences and conversation. Here's Sienna in May of 2022.
The rainbow is a division of white light into many beautiful colors. These take the shape of a long, round arch.
And now?
The rainbow is a division of white light into many beautiful colors. These take the shape of a long, round arch. Looking at where I was and where I am now, it's like, it's crazy. It's really like increased my quality of life.
I want all my patients to be able to communicate with confidence out in the world.
The majority of people who take part in this program are trans women. Apparently, in the medical transition of hormone use, the estrogen and progesterone have no effect on the vocal tract. That's why they need this training. Non-binary and agender people take part as well. The doctor says it's usually a 10-week program with one session a week. Ursula Perry, KSAT12 News.
Former President Donald Trump's defense attorney is set to testify before a grand jury on Friday as part of the classified documents probe. A federal appeals court is requiring Evan Corcoran to address the panel and turn over his notes about Trump. That's according to a source familiar with the recent ruling from the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. That attorney won't be able to dodge questions through attorney-client privilege this time like he did during his previous testimony.
The Federal Aviation Administration calling on airlines to address several recent close calls on or near runways. One of them happened in Austin. The FAA has released an aviation safety call to action. It urges carriers to reinforce adherence to published processes and procedures. The safety alert says airlines should evaluate information collected through their safety management processes, identify hazards, increase and improve safety communications with employees, and enact mitigations. The new bulletin comes a week after an emergency FAA safety summit. So far this year, there have been 7 close calls on or near U.S. runways.
Now to the West Coast, where they just can't seem to catch a break. Another powerful storm is moving through that area. At least 2 people are dead in California after strong winds there toppled trees and left thousands without power.
Today, 12 states are on alert for heavy rain, wind, snow, flooding as the storm moves east. ABC's Tim Pulliam with the latest.
Osagie, California, getting soaked from another powerful storm. Near the Bay Area, strong winds knocking down trees and power lines. This driver trying to navigate through all this debris. Right now, thousands are without power, including Gregory Griffin, when this tree fell down.
I'm thankful it went that way, because when we just drove up, we were like, oh my goodness.
This satellite image showing what this record-breaking storm looks like from space. Torrential downpours dumping several inches of rain from LA to the Bay Area. People dealing with flooded homes and washed out roads. The impact slowing down first responders.
We're delayed due to weather conditions.
Today is the day to not be driving.
At least 2 people were killed when a tree fell on their car. Just north of Oakland, dozens of people rescued when an Amtrak train derailed after hitting a downed tree. Downtown Los Angeles has seen nearly 3 times more rain than Seattle this year, with more than 20 inches.
A lot of people want to see the sunshine again, but me personally, I love it. I'm like, bring it on. I mean, who knows when it's going to rain like this again?
This latest storm now moving east. Heavy snow expected in the Rockies. Colorado under an avalanche warning through Thursday. As the system moves across the country, places like Texas, Alabama, Louisiana, and Mississippi could see severe storms and possible tornadoes. Tim Pulliam, ABC News, Los Angeles.
While here at home, we're always hoping for some more rain to ease up our drought. That system there on the West Coast, it's making a big difference, Adam.
It's wiped away most of the drought throughout California in particular and much of the West. So here's the latest drought monitor, which will be updated tomorrow, and it's going to chip away at even more of this drought. But you look at the state of California, and none of it is in extreme or exceptional drought. They've seen huge improvements, and they'll continue to do so. And even think about the spring snowmelt, which will likely lead to areas of flooding, but that snowmelt will contribute to the groundwater and filling up their reservoirs as well. So yeah, too much of a good thing. We know what that's like around here. We've had that, but at least it's gotten rid of their drought. 79 degrees right now, dew point is 65, only dropping to near 70 by midnight. And get ready for another round of drizzle. We're going to talk about the cold front, when it arrives, what it means for our weekend, and where in the country we're going to see some of the most precipitation, and if that includes Texas in just a bit.
All right, looking forward to all that humidity getting out of here. Well, not all of it. Most of it getting out of here.
Yes, Adam.
Yeah, we're going to get rid of the humidity, and you'll notice a lack of mugginess by Friday afternoon and lasting through the weekend. And that's because of that system that was moving through California. It's going to push a cold front through here. But before then, another round of drizzle and fog and a few light sprinkles tomorrow morning and again Friday morning. But the cold front hits on Friday morning, with it a slight chance of some showers and thunderstorms. Let's take a look at those rain chances. We're talking only about 30% around here. Better odds as you get farther to the northwest into Texas. We're talking Edwards Plateau and northward, but around here, 20% chance of a few sprinkles and light showers in the morning tomorrow, then that 30% chance of storms Friday morning. Next week, Monday, Tuesday, the off chance of some very light showers, but unfortunately nothing to alleviate our drought conditions that we have around here. Plenty of moisture out west. You saw that story before the commercial break, and there's more moisture coming on shore. This big dip in the upper level flow, that upper disturbance, that's great for the ski resorts in the Rockies. We talked about that last half hour. This, however, is going to be passing just to the north of us, and we need these upper level disturbances to really dig down into northern Mexico. That's when they give us the best lift and kickstart the most showers and storms. However, this one staying to the north of us, it's just going to pass that cold front through town. So let's talk about it. And when it comes to the futurecast, this I don't think is ideal, really the best representation, but it's all we have right now of what you could expect as we get into early Friday morning. Notice 3 a.m., a broken line of showers and storms stretching from roughly Del Rio to Rock Springs, all the way up to Brownwood, San Saba area, and then a little bit of it left over around the morning commute here in San Antonio. Just because this shows a brief little thin line move through, it doesn't guarantee it. And again, I think it's going to be isolated in nature around here. However, there is the chance of a few severe storms developing west of town. I mean, we're talking parts of the hill country, and especially Valverde County, northward, Sonora, Junction, San Angelo, Abilene, up to Oklahoma City as well. That's the primary zone where we could have some severe storms develop. As for overall precipitation, I like to share this map with you every so often. Over the next 7 days, a generalization of where most of the precipitation will fall. No surprise, more coming to the west coast and basically along and east of the Mississippi River and southeastern U.S. and even parts of the northeast. But around here, we're right on the edge of it all again. Unfortunately, it's not going to be covering us, at least not at this point. There's still some time left here this spring, and there's hope for more heavy rain showers and more widespread rain. There's still some hope, so don't give up yet. 79, that was our high temperature today, the average being 75 right now. Anywhere from 91 in Del Rio to 92 in Laredo, 80 Stinson Airport on the south side, 76 right now in Bulverde. Tomorrow morning, we'll start the day at 68 here in San Antonio. Gonzales around 69, Hondo and Divine 68 degrees. Then by the afternoon, with some sunshine, should boost well into the 80s. West side of town about 87 degrees, north side about 86, Bulverde then 82 along with Bernie. The morning fog and drizzle and sprinkles will give way to some of that afternoon sunshine. And you'll notice the humidity, of course, for another day. But the south-southeasterly wind will be noticeable at 10 to 20 miles per hour. That's going to switch directions. It's going to be that dry West Texas wind on Wednesday, and that's going to drop the humidity for the weekend. And that means some cooler mornings closer to 50 Saturday and Sunday.
So we use the heater on Sunday, the AC tomorrow.
Keep it all going this time.
And have some long sleeves ready for next week as well.
Oh, gosh.
Thanks, Adam. The Buzz is next. Well, a couple made history on Monday by being the first ever to get married in a Houston airport. Laura Mark and U.S. Navy Lieutenant Commander Silas Hensley tied the knot in the Southwest Terminal of Hobby Airport. Hensley said they chose the venue because it's been a big part of their lives.
Yeah, they dated long distance, would often fly through Hobby. The airport helped to orchestrate the event, all were remaining operational during the ceremony. Then after the wedding, the couple had just a short walk to their gate to fly off for their honeymoon.
Convenient.
On this day 60 years ago, a musical and cultural revolution began. On March 22nd, 1963, the Beatles released their debut album, Please Please Me. Less than a year later, it landed the British musicians a spot on the Ed Sullivan Show. They performed in front of 73 million viewers, and Beatlemania was born.
John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr became household names. Some have called the group the original boy band, but their influence went well beyond music. Their revolution influenced art, design, and fashion for decades to come.
Yeah, even hairstyles for a while.
All right, feeling a little goofy today? That's a rhetorical question for those in the studio with me. Well, it is appropriate because today is National Goof Off Day. Organizers say it's the perfect time to catch up on your sleep, watch a good movie maybe. Strictly speaking, goofing off is the avoidance of work.
All right, so that means whatever you do, try not to look like you're working. Find your inner couch potato. The observance started in Michigan in 1976. Don't know why Michigan. In the U.S., National Goof Off Day coincides with the International Goof Off Day. So indeed, it is a worldwide goof off celebration.
They don't look very goofy in that video. I thought goofing off was more being silly.
I thought it was like joking around, but that's not the definition you gave.
Well, apparently not.
It's just not working. Yeah. Why are we here?
I don't know. We got to go. That is all our time. Thanks for watching the news at 6.
See you on the Night Beat at 10.